Potter and welcome to Grenade News. It will blow your mind. I'm Princess Bubblegum.
And I'm Harry Styles. In today's stories, a new crime wave is sweeping the country in the form of woolen graffiti. Scientists have invented an invisibility cloak. We helped them find it, and the latest in the weather. But first, a story that will turn your world upside down.
An upside-down house which rests on the point of its roof. Inside there are beds screwed into the ceiling, upside-down wardrobes, an upside-down kitchen, and even an upturned bathroom. Though it's not known if anyone has tried to go to the bath in it or go to the toilet. The house was built as a comment about the state of the world and has become a popular tourist attraction. Although many visitors complain of sickness and dizziness after a few minutes inside, we now cross to our reporter Patrick Starr, who was with the owner of the house. How are you feeling, Patrick?
Thanks, Princess Bubblegum. I'm here with the owner of the house, Minnie Mouse, and I'm feeling a bit topsy-turvy. So, what made you decide to build this house upside down?
Well, I thought it would be rather fun living upside down, even though sometimes I would rather be on a boat. The seasickness equals up to about the same.
What do you think this house gives about the state of the world?
It's crazy. I mean, even on this camp, it was strictly no lollies. I mean, how wrong is that?
What are some of the challenges living when the beds, bathroom and kitchen are kind of on the ceiling?
Well, it's rather hard making your bacon and eggs in the morning because all your egg falls out. Now, with the bed, it's a whole different story. You just have to make sure your blankets are tucked in really well. And make sure you don't lose your pillow.
So, if you don't mind me asking, how do you go to the toilet?
We got a plumber to put the toilet on the roof.
Thanks, Minnie Mouse. Now back to you, Harry Styles, in the studio.
Thanks, Patrick Starr. Even watching that makes me feel like vomiting. And now for a story that is truly out of sight. Look out, Harry Potter. The world of science is catching up to the world of magic. Scientists in Europe have invented a 3D invisibility cloak, which can hide objects by bending light waves. It has been found that light can be controlled by using tiny crystals that make tiny objects disappear. So far, scientists have made small objects such as coins disappear, but hope that it won't be long before they are hiding cars, planes, and even people. However, since inventing the invisibility cloak, the scientists have been having trouble finding it. As soon as we put it down somewhere, it disappears. The inventor of the cloak said it appears they have been having trouble finding other things too, like their lunch, which they think may be underneath the cloak. What will the invention actually be used for? Hoping to see through the reasons behind the invisibility cloak. Here is our on-the-spot reporter Mordecai with more on the story.
Joining me today is Albert Einstein, one of the scientists behind the invisibility cloak. Hi Albert Einstein, and thank you for joining us today. So what made you invent the invisibility cloak?
Well, I was sitting at home and I wondered what it would be like to be invisible.
Could you possibly show me how the invisibility cloak works?
Sure, you're lucky. I found it this morning.
So what do you think the cloak will be used for?
Well, we're not quite sure just yet, but we hope it won't be used for evil.
Have you ever thought of putting a tracking device on it?
Actually, we haven't.
Well, that makes everything very clear. Thank you for joining us today, Albert Einstein, and we're out of time. Over to you, Princess Bubblegum.
Thanks, Mordecai. And now, how's this for an interesting yarn? A new wave of graffiti crime is covering the country, thanks to an underground gang known as the Midnight Knitters. These wall-waving criminals are covering tree branches and lampposts with small jerseys and scarves under the cover of darkness. Police say this is illegal because this is being done on public property without permission, and warn that if the Midnight Knitters aren't caught soon, every tree, lamppost and traffic light in the country will soon be warmly dressed against the cold. A police spokesman said the problem is spinning out of control. There are a close-knit group of dyed-in-the-wool criminals. We are stitching together a case, but it's not seamless. There are no real patterns to the crime so far. The criminal knitters have escaped arrest and continue to pull the wool over the eye of both the public and the police. We go to a secret location with Rigby, who has an exclusive interview with the Midnight Knitters.
Thank you, Princess Bubblegum. I'm Rigby, and joining me in this top secret location is the member of the Midnight Knitters gang. Hello, Granny. Thanks for joining us. What led you into the dark underworld of knitted graffiti?
Well, I like my knitting and I wanted to take it to the next level.
Do you see yourself as a criminal? Why? Why not?
Yes, because I'm wrecking everything.
Apart from trees, lampposts and traffic lights, what else are you planning to graffiti with your wooliness?
People, to keep them snug and cosy.
And here's a passerby. Are you offended by all of this?
Yes, because it's wrecking all of nature.
Well, thanks for your time, Granny. Over to SpongeBob and Willis Wonton for the weather updates.
Well, at least they'll be warned if they get caught and go to jail. Now let's have a look at the weather up and down the country with SpongeBob. What's in store?
Thank you, Rigby. Let's have a look at tomorrow's weather. Starting in the far north, Kaitaia, look out for some pretty flash flooding and raindrops as big as your head. If you're going outside, wear a hat. In Auckland, there'll be a mix of fair conditions and unfair conditions, but those are the conditions and you'll just have to accept them. There'll be no weather at all for the Bay of Plenty. It's taking a short holiday, but is expected to be back for the weekend. In Napier and Hastings, the weather will be sometimes changeable and sometimes not. We really have no idea what will happen there. In Taranaki, a mild depression brings with it a very dull day. It'll be overcast, gloomy all morning, but things should cheer up by the evening, so don't worry, everything will be fine. Wellington will have another capital day. There'll be no wind at all and the conditions will be so pleasant they'll actually be extreme. In the top of the South Island, Kaikoura can always expect to have a good day. Sunny and calm and idyllic surroundings except for tomorrow when the weather will be the worst you've ever seen. A real mix for Christchurch, which will have some unreasonable rainfall, some sensible wind, moderate thunderstorms and some very angry snow. And in the lower South Island, Dunedin will have frosty, cold and unfriendly until later morning when the sun will pop over for a visit. Everybody likes the sun. That's all from me. Remember, if it's raining outside, that's the weather for you. Now it's back to the news desk with Princess Bubblegum and Harry Styles.
Well, that's all we have time for. We hope you've enjoyed today's broadcast.
Thank you all for watching and we'll all see you again next time. Until then,
I'm Princess Bubblegum
and I'm Harry Styles.
for Grenade News. Goodbye and ohora.